But if she doesn't have that stuff, no big deal. She'll certainly know the names of her 5 closest friends in the area. And then what you want to do is just write those down, and there's a form for it, and we'll look at that in a second. Just write down the names of the people, and then you're going to write them down twice. You're going to write them down on a form that you keep, and you're going to write them down on a form that you give to her to take home. And that is a way that you're going to, because will probably occur. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see as we go. But I would imagine 50% of the time it'll probably occur that your client doesn't have that information with him or her. So you're going to need to utilize this take-home form. And as you'll see, it's, again, a very simple tool, and all it requires is a little bit of follow-up, which you can delegate to your administrative assistant, and that's fine. Okay, so but that tool, that take-home form, is powerful, and it reminds her. You'll see when it just has the names of her friends on it, so it reminds her who she said was her closest friends. Even though she knows that stuff, it doesn't matter. She's got it in front of her now, and that's important. That carries weight. Okay, it's a physical document that she's taking with her that has those names on it. So there's an element of responsibility there. Whereas if she was just, if it was just a verbal agreement, that's not nearly as powerful as a physical piece of paper that's literally like a contract, as you'll see. It becomes much more compelling and therefore much easier, and she's going to want to, comply. That's the bottom line. She's going to want to comply. And it's a form of accountability because she knows you already have the names, and she's therefore much more inclined to follow through. And then finally, if this is the case, again, you're just going to have your admin follow up with a phone call and email later that day if addresses have not been submitted. As you'll see when I show you the document, it has clear instructions about what she needs to do and when she needs to do it. But again, we know how people are. They get distracted, or they're lazy or whatever, and they can forget. So it's incumbent upon us to take that additional step and follow up, because that's usually all it takes. You reach out with the phone one time, not you, your admin, or and shoot an email over to her. Boom, you're going to get that information. Okay, so I just want to stress this point, that this whole system hinges on the accountability bubble support system, on that first step. Okay, you've got to get that done. You or whoever is doing your sales has got to get that done. And as you'll see, again, we're going to look at the document in just a second. I know I keep saying that, but I just want you to know I'm going to show it to you, and you'll see how simple it is, how straightforward it is. It's something that you will go through in probably less than 5 minutes. The thing that's going to take the longest is writing down the names and addresses if she's got the information for her. That's about it. But it is crucial that you get that part done, because nothing else works if you don't get those names. All right, and so it's the degree to which you embrace your authority as a leader that will largely determine how effective, successful, and profitable you are with Client Cloner. If you're not confident in yourself and your ability to help them, they will not be confident in you, and they'll balk at giving you the information you need, which is names and addresses that are scientifically proven to help the client achieve success. And that's an important point that you need, and I didn't cover it up here. You're not asking for referrals, okay? You're not asking this woman to do you a favor. You're not asking for her help. You're trying to help her. It's a completely 180-degree difference in positioning, and that's crucial. So, and that's all made clear to the person during the ABS presentation. So you're not asking, again, just keep that in the back of your head, because everybody, when we're asking for something, when we're asking for a favor, we're not as authoritative as when we're giving someone direction that we know will help them. Okay, so you just have to make sure that you're squared away with your attitude in those terms. But the bottom line is that you're going to almost certainly encounter some resistance from some of the folks. And here's what I anticipate will occur. With 10% of the people that you talk to, meaning 1 out of 10, they're just going to be adamant. I'm not giving out names of my friends. They're going to sit back in their chair and they're going to go, nope, ain't going to do it. And that is fine. And you just don't even worry about that. Okay, fine, Frank. We're going to still do everything we can to get you results. And you leave it at that. All right? You don't even sweat it. You just fine, next. It's not even worth a conversation. And then 10%, another 1 out of 10 are going to say, I'm not comfortable with that. It's going to be a feeling thing. This is more like just a visceral reaction. No, ain't going to happen. This is going to be more like, well, I'm not I don't know. Should I do that? I'm not sure. And you're going to get a response, something like that. And so your response is going to be, okay, can you help me understand why? All right, and it's so worthwhile for you to take this additional minute or two just to peel the onion and get down to the root cause, because we know what the root causes are going to be. There's only two of them. 99% of the time it's going to be one of these two, and it's going to be that she's afraid of being exposed as a failure because she's failed so many times in the past, or it's a fear of disappointing others. That's what it comes down to. She doesn't want to make her commitment public. All right, that's what it comes down to. So you just got to work through that, by asking a couple questions and getting to the root cause, because the bottom line, it's that this person, more than anybody else that you'll talk to, needs your help. She needs your help the most, and she's the one who needs the system the most. She's the one who absolutely needs to be putting herself out there and making this a public commitment, because otherwise it ain't going to happen. She's not going to get results. She's going to be that person who just washes out, who just doesn't hack it, doesn't make it, doesn't get results, and is trouble for you and really not worth your time. You can't get a decent testimony out of them or anything like that. There's no leverage there. I mean, sure, you're going to make a few bucks, but that's about it. So this is the person who really needs your help, and so it's worthwhile just to take a few minutes to peel the onion, help her understand what it is that she's actually truly afraid of, and then get her to give you the information, which she will. And that's why I believe that 9 out of 10 of the people that you talk to are going to close with ABS. You're going to get those names from 9 out of 10 of the folks. And with 9 out of 10, even with 5 out of 10, okay, realistically, even with 5 out of 10 folks, you're going to have so many leads and be generating so many referrals, it will be a game changer for you. But with 9 out of 10, things can really get explosive fast. So we always want to focus on maximizing those numbers. So think in terms of 9 out of 10, make that your goal, and it will happen. All right, so that's step one, and that's the biggest deal. Step two, now it's easy street from here. Once that's done, and that's pretty darn easy too. Step two is just launch the communication marketing tools. They do all the work generating the referrals for you, and that's something that your admin's going to handle, boom, systematically, just getting that stuff out. And step three is just be consistent, okay? You can't do this willy-nilly. It needs to be consistent with every single client. You'll get better at it with each client. The system will start to run more smoothly. The more practice your admin gets, utilizing it and running getting these marketing tools out, and the referrals will start coming more and more consistently. So it's always just that it's a process, all right? But in order to make it effective, it's got to be consistent. It's like anything else. All right, so that's it. Client Clone is a simple 3-step system that can generate, the drill. All right, so what kind of results? And this is the matrix, and you guys have all seen this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because we've got a lot of tools to look at. But I do want you to take a good look at this when you have some time, maybe later today or tomorrow, and analyze this, okay? And keep in mind that what I've done here is I've been very conservative with these numbers. But even if I've erred, even if I haven't been conservative enough, with a 5% conversion, cut that in half. Run your numbers based on a 2.5% conversion or even a 2% conversion, and look at them then. And if you're having difficulty, if the numbers aren't working for you, then you need to look at your margins. You need to look at the margins of your in terms of the products and services that you sell, because that's really probably where the problem lies. All right, so utilize this table, give it a good look, and take note of these really interesting months that occur quickly. And again, based on conservative numbers, in month 3, you could be generating as many new Client Cloner clients as you are from all your other marketing. In month 7, things just explode. Month 7, you now have unstoppable momentum. Okay, you've generated as many alone as you did the previous month with your other marketing plus Client Cloners. So things can really grow quickly as long as you have a consistent process, as long as you're utilizing the system consistently. And by the way, this matrix here factors in use of only the support network update and referral programming letters, combined with the client stick and referral programming campaign, which I'll show you in just a moment. It does not include new client referrals generated by the doctor update and referral programming letters. And I'll tell you right now, we're going to look at this in a moment too, but with the doctor update stuff, that's going to take, I would imagine it's going to have much more, it'll be a much slower process or progression with the doctor stuff, because doctors, they're so busy, they're getting a lot of things, and even though this is really, elegant, again, it's just a good way to describe it, and not overly promotional by any means, and something that a doctor would look at very favorably, it's still going to take some time. But the beauty of it is that you're going to be establishing relationships, even if they're through the mail. You're going to be establishing relationships with a multitude of doctors in your area on an ongoing basis. They're going to be getting stuff from you on a regular monthly basis that shows how professional you are, how committed you are to providing outstanding service. And these are things that go a long way in terms of building relationships. So it might start slowly with the doctor stuff, but you could hit critical mass. It'll take a little bit longer, but once you do hit it, boom, those doctors can just start feeding you business. So again, this matrix up here doesn't take the doctor update and referral programming letters into account, nor does it the neighborhood farming postcards, which are optional. And the potentially significant number of new clients you can get from the rapid growth of your Facebook fan page fans. And again, I'll show you on some of the tools how we drive people to your fan page. But I didn't include these things because with the exception of the doctor letters, which are important, the others are really, they're nice, but they're almost superfluous. They're almost not even necessary. I mean, they're really not necessary for the system to run, and that's why they are optional. The neighborhood farming postcards and the Facebook stuff, it's optional, but it always helps to have multiple ways to pull in more clients. So that's why I've had them. All right, so let's get on to the Client Cloner tools and take a look at some of those. So the tools in phase one. First thing is the Accountability Bubble Support System presentation. Okay, I've talked a lot about that already, and it's a simple two-page presentation tool you use to secure agreement from the new client and capture names and addresses of clients' physician and local support networks. So let's take a look at that. All right, so this is the top of the, it's actually more than 2 pages, but there's only 2 pages that you're going to present. And it's quick and simple. And this 90-day challenge, this is just a name that I put at the top of this. You can put whatever you want up here. I did it all, because it jives with the message that I wanted to drive home, and that's, the next 90 days can dramatically change your life. If you need to adjust this, fine. If not, leave it, because it's good. All right, so your 90-day challenge. This opening paragraph is critical here, because what you're doing is you're setting up the agreement right from the get-go with your client. Remember, what you've done so far is you've just sold the client. All right, that's it. You're sold, and now you go, oh, Sally, one more thing I need to cover with you. And you put this out in front of her, a little 2-page document. You're not doing it on a PowerPoint or anything like that, because that sends a subliminal message that, oh, here comes another presentation or something that I might have to buy, right? This needs to be casual. So you're putting this out in front of her. Here's something else I need to cover with you. And then you just read this paragraph to her. The next 90 days can dramatically change your life. If you follow our program exactly, you will see and feel amazing physical transformation. But more importantly, it will also change your mindset, the way you see and think about yourself. In 90 days, you can transform both inside and out. Okay, so big benefits we're laying out here. The only catch is that you've got to follow the program exactly for the next 90 days. Can I count on you to do that? What do you think the response is going to be there? I mean, you've just sold this client. The client has already told you she's a 10 on a scale of 10 in terms of commitment level. So now you present her with this, she's going to be like, oh, of course, absolutely. You've got my full 100% commitment. Great. And then you go right into this stuff and you just show her, okay, well, I want to cover a few interesting things with you. This is documented results from peer-reviewed studies by the top experts on fitness, weight loss, and behavior modification in the world. Sally, take a look at this stuff. This is pretty amazing. And then just review a couple of these with her, or all of them, whatever you feel like. Be sure to point out the sources, because obviously that gives a lot of credibility to it. And again, if you've got other stuff that you want to add in here, then by all means do it. But this is pretty good ammunition right here. and it does exactly what we want to do in terms of setting up this sale. And I say sale only because it's, you need to, she needs to agree. There needs to be agreement here, no money changing hands, of course. So you're showing her this, you're reviewing it with her. It's going to take you all of 1 minute to get through this first page. Okay, but take your time, don't rush. If she needs more time or whatever, talk to her about this stuff if she wants to talk about it. And then on page 2, so she's not even seeing page 2 yet. She's just seeing page 1. Then on page 2, it says, and I would just read this to her again or paraphrase it, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm sharing these studies with you for a very important reason. We can't be with you 24/7. We have accountability mechanisms built into our program, like your nutrition journal, consistent communication with your coach, and regular assessments. Now, you need to adjust that accordingly. If you don't offer all that stuff, then you need to figure something else out. But we've discovered that adding another layer of accountability and support makes an incredibly significant difference in the speed and certainty with which you get body transformation results. And then, boom, you segue right into this, accountability bubble support system, and this is it. This is the full description right here that you're looking at on your screen. It's got the title, and it just says creating an impenetrable bubble of accountability and support around you. Might sound a little corny, but we're just repeating those words, support, accountability, that whole theme, just driving that home. We don't need to broaden it out. We just need to go deep with it. And that's what we're doing. So now it's a brief explanation. Here's how our ABS system works. Number 1, you provide the names of your 5 closest friends here in town and the name of your personal physician. They comprise your accountability and support network. Number 2, we send them a letter announcing that you've become a client and asking them to support you in achieving your goals and monitoring your progress. We also invite your friends to join you, to be your workout buddies here at Name Your Business. That is optional, of course. Our primary goal, and you see this is underlined, our primary goal is to enlist their support of your goals and to get them to help you be accountable. Hearing it from us is immensely more powerful because it makes everything official. And I would read that last line exactly the way I just read it. Slow cadence, emphasis on certain words, okay? Because that's the crux of the issue. Because her only argument to this would be like, well, why can't I just tell them? Okay, so you need to, by reading that line or saying that line the way I just said it, slowly and with emphasis, it will overcome that objection. It won't even come up, all right? And number 3, we send them an update on your progress every 30 days. Well, that's it. So this creates an accountability bubble around you. Your closest friends and personal physician now know that you are very serious about your fitness goals, and having their support is invaluable. And it also has one more really profound effect. And I'd look at her in the eye at this point. I'd say, and this is really important. It makes your fitness mission public, strengthening your resolve in times of doubt or weakness, which everybody has. And this is designed to let her off the hook, right? So we're not saying, Sally, you're a weak so-and-so, and you need all the help you can get or you ain't going to make it. We're just saying you're like everybody else, all right? And then the question at the end, does that all make sense to you? The answer, of course, is going to be yes. That makes complete sense to me. I want more more accountability and more support. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm paying you. I want to lose this weight, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get that done. So, yes, I'm on board. That's what you're going to get from 8 out of 10 people. So you go to the next page. Your business name, Accountability Bubble Support System, ABS, creating an impenetrable, same stuff up here. You just got to fill this out. And you want to make sure that you hit all this stuff because for follow-up purposes, if she doesn't have the addresses. But this is very straightforward. You're just going to write her name here. You're going to write her phone here. And ask for her cell phone. Make sure it's her direct phone, not her home phone. Get her cell phone number. I should probably put cell in here just to make sure. But anyway, you know now. Ask for cell phone. Get her email address because your admin is going to be following up via her cell phone call and email address call if she doesn't have the addresses with her. Join date, just for your record so you know, keep things straight. Program, these are data fields that you're going to use in other tools, so that's why they're on here. The program, whatever it is she bought from you. Her primary goals, okay, just that makes it look more official, and again, that's another bit of data that you're going to incorporate into the other tools. So you want to have that listed out. her physician name. So we're asking for that first. Again, it adds credibility. Okay, our number one priority is your physician. Okay, so what's your physician name? Boom, you get that physician address. If she doesn't have it, no big deal. You can look that up. But, we could still ask her to provide it, which she'd gladly do. And then support network local friends. And you can see I've got 7 fields here for that. And that's because the more the merrier. And we're only asking her for 5, and you want to get 5. But if she wants to give you 7, great. And, after she gives you 5, you should go, well, is there anybody else? Is there anybody else that we're missing here that, that's important to you, that's local, and that, who you interact with on a regular basis and whose influence is important to you, that kind of thing. Just jog her memory. It's worth asking one more time. All right, so you get this information, and let's say, again, that she doesn't have the addresses. All she's got is the names. So you're just going to write the names on this form, and this is your form. This is your internal form. You're going to write the names here. You don't have the addresses yet, but you're going to write the names, because that way you've got accountability. You've got the names down. You know exactly who they are for your admin to follow up, in case she doesn't follow the instructions, which are on the next page, which I'll show you. And now here's the final clincher and another beautiful piece to this. You're going to get her to sign this thing at the bottom. And it says, in quotes, I am 100% committed to achieving my fitness goals with the help of your business name. Thanks for supporting me in the process, and I hope you'll consider joining me. It would be great to have you as a workout partner. And what this is a little commitment testimonial that you're going to be able to pull right off of here and dump right into, and it's actually already built in to the tools, so that when the letter goes out to her network of friends, this testimonial is right in there saying, hey, I'm 100% committed to working with these guys, and thank you for supporting me in the process. I hope you'll consider joining me. It would be great to have you as a workout partner, Amy Smith, or whatever her name is. And when you see the tool, that'll make more sense how we're utilizing that. But this is important. It's not, it's getting her to sign her name to her commitment, but it's also giving you a powerful testimonial that you can use, a commitment testimonial that you can use immediately. And then you get her to sign and date. And right down here, it's got the disclaimer copy. It says, your signature above authorizes business name to contact your physician and the people in your personal network with updates on my, that should be your progress. That's a typo. I have to fix that. All right, so that's that form. Now, like I said, she didn't have the addresses to give you, so here's what you give her, the take-home form. Okay, and this has explicit instructions on it. You can see directions. It is critical that we get this from you today. Please email this information to me immediately and give her your direct email address or your admin's, whatever you want to do. Or call me and your phone number. The early stages of your program are the most fragile and the time when complete support and accountability are most vital. We are absolutely committed to your success, and we need you to be equally committed, as you told me you are. Okay? So you're reinforcing the